I think about our world. I think about the feelings we all have being turned upside down right now. And yet in the background of all that, I see God doing something that only he could do in the midst of what feels like an insurmountable trial, tribulation, and circumstance to so many. And it took me back to a story we just studied a few weeks ago, the story of Joseph. The story of Joseph is one that speaks to this because Joseph was left and abandoned by his brothers, and largely because he had a call on his life from God that they couldn't understand. They sold him as a slave. He ends up in Egypt and he's second in command. And years later, God brings his brothers back and does a restorative work in their family. And the words of Joseph, when he could have chosen vengeance, is what I want us to lean into today. He said in Genesis 50:20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. He brought me to this position so I could save the lives of many people. No, don't be afraid." So we as believers will not be afraid. We will not cower back. This is not a time to be quiet. This is a time to speak out. And this is the most important part. This is a time to let God's light shine bright. Because in John 1:5, we are reminded that the darkness, literally, physically, spiritually, cannot overcome the light. So as long as we keep shining bright, his light will overcome the darkness of this world. It will overcome the hate and the violence of this world. And yet there are some things that as Christians we need to understand and do in this time now more than ever. See, I don't think the answer to our problems is going to come from more policy in Washington, D.C. on the left or the right. Jesus established his church. Matthew 16:18 tells us that. He said it was the hope of the world in Matthew 5:14. And he said in Matthew 16:18 all over again that the gates of hell would not prevail against this movement he established called the church.